All right, we have our test on historical fiction, Below Deck, a Titanic story. I'm going to read each question for you, and then you will select the correct answer. We're going to start with our vocabulary. You are going to choose the word or word group that has the same meaning as the underlined word. There was an enormous amount of snow to be shoveled after the storm. What does enormous mean? Awful, common, huge, or roomy? He interfered in other people's business. What does interfered mean? Stayed away from, got involved in, left people alone, or was harmed by? The dog remained stationary.
Attorney Nolan Treese to the front, please, for dismissal. Nolan Treese.
Sorry, guys. The dog remained stationary until given the command to walk. What does stationary mean? Active, lively, nervous, or unmoving? We decided to abandon the rowboat when it began leaking. What does abandon mean? Cover, leave, support, or take? And now you're going to continue to choose the word or word group that has about the same meaning as the underlined word. This time we're finding a synonym. Same idea. Appeared. The sun appeared from behind the clouds. What does appeared mean? Carried on, did behave, would occur, or became visible. Okay, now you are going to look at these words in all caps. These are words that have prefixes. Remember, the prefix changes the meaning of your base word. I want you to determine the meaning of each of these words. What does preview mean? View on, not view, view into, or view before. Disappear. Appear on, not appear, appear into, or appear before. Incorrect. Correct on, not correct, correct into, correct before. Non-stop. Stops on, stops into, stops before, or not stopping. All right, next I have some comprehension questions from Below Deck, a Titanic story. Do your best to answer these in complete sentences. Why is Auntie Nora sending Grace to America? What is the one thing the whole world was saying the Titanic would never do? In chapter 3, Grace seems to find a group of friends. What does she do in the story that shows us that she is starting to enjoy her time on the ship, even though she misses her Auntie Nora? In chapter 4, why did Grace not want to help Catherine? What made her change her mind? And finally, how did Catherine's family help Grace? The last part of our test is we have a short story and then some questions that go with it. So go ahead and follow along with me. Walkie, Dakota, and the Crow. Walkie and her brother Dakota lived in a small American Indian village. One day in early spring, Walkie and Dakota were riding their horses. They were looking to collect firewood just outside their village. The air was turning cold, and soon wood would be needed to heat their wigwam. As they tied their horses to a nearby tree, Walkie heard a soft sound. Her brother heard it too. Together, the sister and brother followed the sound into a small clearing where they found a crow that looked hurt. It couldn't fly. "We have to help this crow," Walkie said, and took off her shawl, using it to pick up the bird. Dakota agreed and helped his sister wrap the bird carefully. Walkie and Dakota decided that their mother would know what to do, and they returned to their village. They found their mother cooking just outside the wigwam. Dakota could see a hot stew bubbling in an iron pot over a fire. Near her were a pair of moccasins that she was decorating with her beautiful beadwork. As the two unwrapped the shawl, their mother saw the crow's injured wing. We should give the bird some water, said their mother. It looks thirsty. Walkie grabbed a clay bowl and went to get water from the creek that was on the other side of the village. While Walkie was away, her mother and Dakota used twigs and corn husks to wrap up the crow's wing. Walkie and Dakota had been right. Their mother knew how to help a bird's wing heal. When Walkie came back, they gave the crow water. The crow stopped making the crying sound. It seemed to be in a lot less pain. Walkie and Dakota were proud that they were able to help the bird. They knew it would be flying again soon. What was the purpose of paragraph 1? So you need to reread paragraph 1. It described the problem that Walkie and Dakota must solve. It outlines a conflict between Walkie and Dakota over the crow. It offers a solution to the problem of the crow for Walkie and Dakota. And it describes the American Indian village where Walkie and Dakota live. How does paragraph 6 build on paragraphs 4 and 5? So you want to go to paragraphs 4 and 5 and look at the progression of what happened in 4 and 5 that led to 6. It describes the mother of Walkie and Dakota. It explains the growing conflict between Walkie and Dakota. It provides a resolution about how best to take care of the crow. It concludes the story with Walkie and Dakota setting the crow free. Finally, the event that happens between Walkie and Dakota looking for firewood and the moment when they find the crow is Walkie and Dakota hear sounds. Walkie gets water from the creek. Dakota agrees that they must help the crow, or Walkie and Dakota bring the crow to their mother. All right, guys, make sure you are utilizing this text. Don't guess. Your answers are in the story. Let me know if you have any questions. Do your best work.